Welcome back to my channel. My name's Carly and I make everything vegan and gluten-free, but today it's not going to be a recipe video. Today I'm going to do a little health update, sort of anyways, an update on food allergies, food sensitivities, I suppose you could say. Something very interesting and unique happened to me that has never happened before. So I'm just gonna walk you through it. I'll include a few clips. I'm also just gonna interject some things from my vacation, like food, because I am a food channel, but it also happened well on my way to my destination, which is the best time that, you can have gastrointestinal problems. So I shouldn't say I had no idea that this would happen. I had 99% of zero idea that this would happen, okay? In the past, there have been things that my stomach has been sensitive to, right? So if you have ever seen one of my older videos, I forget what it's called, maybe I'll just link it here, and essentially I'm talking about like the perfect stool. In something imperfect, I might see undigested food, like you see corn, whatever. I'm pretty sure I've seen peppers. I'm pretty sure I've seen red peppers undigested before. Okay, I don't know if this is common. I don't know if it's maybe common in the celiac community, if it is just abnormal. So that is the 1%, right? So that's always been a cooked red pepper. I've eaten raw red peppers. Surprise! This story is about red peppers. I have eaten raw red peppers before. I didn't believe to have any problem with them. However, several things bother my stomach. Maybe I should update you guys because there has been several since I last updated you on my gut problems. The 1%, okay, apparently it's actually a lot higher. Apparently, I should have known that there was a much larger percent that actually I should have known that these red peppers were going to bother me. So now I don't know if it's a nightshade thing because red peppers are part of the nightshade family, yet so are potatoes. And I could throw back potatoes like no tomorrow, okay? The other things, maybe I'll put them on the screen because I do not know what the other things are, but I looked it up. The other things as well, I believe, have never given me an issue. Enter the actual story, okay? Me thinking I can eat raw red peppers, no issues there, right? This is safe, okay? Nothing like thinking you're safe eating something when you are about to find out you're not. We have a flight. It's about 3 hours and 50 minutes-ish. It's at 6 a.m. Okay, that's early. I gotta get up at 3 and get to the airport. I decide, well, I'll bring some snacks because I'll probably get hungry. Like, I'm not gonna be hungry at 3 a.m. Don't worry about eating then. I'll just bring some snacks, some fresh veggies, we had a little leftover Cajun tofu. I'll just bring that stuff. It'll be fine. I won't be that hungry. I'll survive until we land. And I can probably dig out a gluten-free bun that I had packed, whatever. The first mistake that I made, okay, was not eating at 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, my very first mistake was not eating a big enough supper. So I just had made some Cajun tofu, nothing else, just like some honey mustard, and we just were eating the Cajun tofu. I think I was snacking partially throughout the day, so I was like, whatever. It's fine, I'll just eat some of this for dinner. So I didn't have a really heavy dinner. Now, if you have a sensitive tummy, you should probably make sure you eat something safe, something very filling before you are going to then travel later on into the next day or whatever. If you know you're not going to be eating proper meals for a while, make sure that last meal is huge, okay? Second mistake, not eating at 3 o'clock in the morning. Was I hungry? No, of course not. But I was awake at 3 a.m. and going to be awake a while. Okay. Number 2, I definitely should have eaten a bowl of cereal, some crackers, like literally anything. Okay. Mistake number 2 was not eating anything at 3 a.m. Let's go back to our original storyline. Okay. So I'm thinking it's good. I'll cut up. I had a couple red peppers that obviously were going to be gone for a while, so I wanted to make sure I clear out the fridge. So I cut up a couple red peppers, a cucumber. I have a little bit of that Cajun tofu left over. I'm like, oh, this will be fine. We'll just munch a snack on this when, before we get on the plane, when we're on the plane, whatever. It'll be fine. It was not fine. To my utter surprise, it was not fine. Okay, this is the worst experience I have ever had of my life. And I was terrified. I was so scared because normally I fly with no issues. Like the turbulence doesn't even normally bother me. This was the worst flight I've ever had. We're at the airport at 5 a.m. waiting to board. Decide I'm a little hungry. Maybe eat a bite of tofu. I'm eating a couple of red peppers, couple cucumbers, whatever. I'm like, okay, we'll just put it away for now. Fast forward, that was probably between 5 or 5:30. And then fast forward to being on the plane at 6. We take off, yada yada, a few minutes in, I think maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, I don't know. I'm hungry. So I'm like, okay, we're now in the air, we're fine, we're not still ascending, blah, blah, blah. Let me dig in. So I pull out all of our treats, all of our food, and we finish all of the red pepper. So I'm estimating I ate probably maybe one entire red pepper raw, and then some cucumber pieces, and literally 3 pieces of tofu, not very much tofu. And I was like, okay, I feel satisfied, I had enough of a snack. I know it's just veggies, so it's not very filling, but whatever. I feel fine. I feel great. Drink a little water, whatever, let's watch a movie. I remember looking at Clay's timer because we'll always, as soon as we get into the air, we'll set a timer to time the whole flight so we know how close we are to landing. It was about 2 hours in, and I kind of got a feeling like my stomach was starting to turn. And I was like, oh man, maybe I can hold it till we land, whatever. We're halfway through this journey, blah, blah, blah. It's probably nothing, whatever. Oh, it started to turn into very bad very quickly. My stomach was just turning into awfulness, very unagreeableness, very you will explode if you don't get to a bathroom in the next few minutes. On top of that, I started feeling nauseous as well, so kind of a mix between I'm hungry, but I'm nauseous. I'm so hungry, I'm nauseous. I don't know if you've had this feeling. It's my body's oh my god, I'm starving, but I feel like I'm gonna throw up. That, it makes literally zero sense. I could have just felt starving and I was gonna explode, and that would have been fine. But no, I had to feel like I was actually gonna be sick and nauseous, and it was the worst combination. So 1, I feel like I'm gonna poop my pants, okay? 2, I feel nauseous, I'm gonna throw up at any moment, and I'm holding on to dear life for a puke bag. 3, worst turbulence probably in my entire flight history, which is not that much. Worst turbulence ever. We hit turbulence for several minutes, 10 minutes turbulence. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I have to go to the bathroom, but it's fine. But the seatbelt light's on, so I can hold it. And then as soon as the seatbelt no, I don't even think it went off. As soon as we leveled out and there was no more turbulence for a few minutes, there was a lineup at the bathroom. And I was like, oh my god. I'm going to have a bathroom emergency, and there's going to be a lineup at the bathroom, and I'm going to literally poop. I'm going to shit my pants. I'm going to poop my pants, for real, for real. How did this happen to me? Literally, how did this happen to me? It's so disappointing because I thought I knew that this would be safe and okay for me, and it wasn't. So all of this is happening, and my stomach just keeps getting worse. I just keep getting waves of 1, nausea, 2, explosive diarrhea feeling. I'm leaning on Clay and I'm holding on to him as I'm going through these waves of I feel like I'm gonna die, and I have almost fainted before, literally on the toilet from having severe stomach problems. I have almost fainted in the past. So this was really scary to me because I thought, what if I faint? What if I faint and then poop my pants? That would literally be the worst case scenario. And I'm just what the actual, fast forward, I don't know how long, maybe half an hour. I really thought I could handle. I could not. I was like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I need to get up. I need to do this, because if I don't, like, I actually don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm really terrified right now. I just need the toilet. And like, I swear we were maybe, I don't know, maybe we were an hour, maybe we were 45 minutes from like landing. It was getting to crunch time. Like, might not be able to get up and go to the bathroom because we'll be landing soon. Clay decided, okay, I'll wait in line for the bathroom for you. And then I'll just wait here and I'll just watch him. But I was in such a horrible state that I was just crouched in the seat, and I would look up and I'm like, okay, he's not there. And then I would just crouch down in the seat again and just pray that I was gonna survive this. Literally just breathing, like just literally focusing on my breathing. And the next time I looked up, he was gone. He was in the bathroom, and I was like, great, I missed my entire opportunity. Great. So I quickly decided when he got back, I was going to have to go and wait in line, because there's no options anymore. I'm like, after the last wave of like, oh my god, I'm going to explode. As soon as that passes, like, hey, I need to get up and stand and hope to god nothing happens when I stand up. And I was fine. I clutched the puke bag. I stood in line for, I don't even know, 5-10 minutes. I have no idea. I made it to the bathroom, and guess what I saw? Red peppers. Like, they just literally went straight through my body and into the toilet. For what? Why? Why? It was so horrible. And afterwards, I was like, okay, hopefully it's all out of my system now. I still felt so nauseous. Like, I felt so sick. And the thing is, normally I wouldn't eat until like 11 a.m. anyways. And I'm like, dude, it's literally 8 o'clock in the morning. My time. Like, I wouldn't have even been hungry yet if I would have slept the whole night. Like, what the F? Okay, I was so mad at my body. Okay, I get out of the bathroom thinking I'll feel better. Maybe I can drink some water or something. I sit back down. Immediately it is worse. At least I don't feel like I'm going to explode, but I feel tenfold nausea. The turbulence keeps coming back on and off. I like really think I might throw up at this point, because I didn't already. And now I'm just like, I don't even know what's going to happen. Am I going to actually like faint, or like what is gonna happen to me, because I feel so weak and so miserable. The only way I found comfort was, I'll put up the clip now, was to be hunched against the seat in front of me and with my eyes closed, no AirPods in, nothing, and I'm literally like box breathing, like just counting my breaths in, holding it, and breathing out, because I seriously was on the edge. I was on the verge of like, something bad is really gonna happen, like whether that's fainting or I don't know, like throwing up, I don't know. I'm hanging on for dear life. I sit like this the entirety of the flight, like the rest of the flight, we land, everything, like I'm just against the seat. Even when we jerk and land, yeah, I'm literally hunched there. Clay's trying to comfort me, I'm like, don't even touch me. I don't know how these influencers do it when they get sick, when they get glutened. I'm not lying. No, not one part of me wanted to film. Clay got a video clip of me, and I'm thankful for it, because not 1 ounce of me would have thought, it was the last thing on my mind, was to film me being so ill. I am literally breathing to keep myself alive. Like, I was the last person off the plane. The flight attendants literally came to talk to me and ask me if I was okay, and I basically said it's because of celiac, because how do you explain this? I just ate something bad. I don't know. Like, that's what's going on. Don't worry. Like, Clay was a champ. He grabbed all our bags. I was just clutching my my puke bag, and that was it. I basically crawled off the plane, and he was texting my parents, because I couldn't even look at my phone. I could do nothing but stare at the floor and look at him to follow him through the airport, which was about 15 minutes to baggage, which was the worst time of my life. We stopped at the bathroom once on the way. Thank God for my mother, because she has gravel on her person at all times, and ginger ale. I popped that gravel in the ginger ale, and we ended up going to a Walmart, and they convinced me to walk around. It in fact helped. I was still going through waves of nausea. Luckily, my gastro problems were done, but the nausea was just kept coming in waves, and I was like, stop. Maybe about half an hour later, it was fine. We got back to the car, and I was like, I think I can try eating. So I ate a little bit of a gluten-free bun, some water, some ginger ale. Within a couple hours probably, I ended up eating the bun, and I felt way better. But the next couple of days were pretty rough. My stomach was like still very, very unhappy for like 2 or 3 days after that, and I was very confused because I thought that I got everything out. But anyways, if this has ever happened to you, or you know, is it IBS? I don't know. Do I have a red pepper allergy? I don't know. Who knows? I'm gonna tell my gastro this, and I hope he doesn't just blame it on me being vegan, because eating animal flesh would definitely make my stomach capable of eating red peppers raw, I think. So the rest of my vacation went quite smoothly. I ended up trying there's a 100% gluten-free pizza place in Calgary. We went there with my parents, and we tried some pizza. They had vegan options, they had meat options, they had everything. It was amazing. It was really, really excellent. My stomach was still a little bit off at this time, so I had basically a panic attack in my brain. Clay could tell what was going on. I don't think anyone else could. But after 10-15 minutes of feeling fine after eating the pizza, I was like, okay, my anxiety's gone. We got this. Mostly we just ate at home, different tofu meals, and baked potatoes up the wazoo because they're delicious and they have a microwave and we don't. So baked potatoes are really fast to make. And corn on the cob, just simple. We had some Impossible burgers. Everything turned out really good. I was scared of getting gluten at her house, even though she has celiac too, but it was fine. No more red peppers. I brought a bunch of gluten-free bread with me, some gluten-free wraps. So we had wraps, we had some sandwiches sometimes, some toast, just simple, like our breakfast sandwich tofu or Cajun tofu meals, just simple food. I tried some sparkling lemonade. If you've seen my post, I posted a few things. Some sparkling lemonade with blue raspberry syrup, which I was nervous about. I think it's Turani brand. I've never had it before, so I was like, is this gonna do something to me? Tons of slushies, so I'm not scared of having slushies anymore because I was a little nervous. I'm not afraid of getting gluten by a slushie anymore. I'll pop up a few pictures of the other different things, like a sparkling peach iced tea was the best thing ever. Freeze-dried fruit. I actually spoke on the phone to the owner because they're a really small town. She freeze dries, and she was really amazing to talk to and confirmed, she cleans everything really well. I Googled afterwards. Freeze dryers there's very minimal risk in using, even if they have put gluten in there. As long as it's cleaned properly, then basically it should be fine. You can run it through with something else that's gluten-free before doing actual what you want. But I'm not really a big fan of freeze-dried fruit. I really want to crush it up and use it as toppings or in baking and stuff like that. So might just use them for that. Just a snack on, maybe not. Yeah, everything else went super smoothly, and my stomach was in perfect condition by the time I came back home, which I was really shocked about. I thought that I would be ill coming back home. The flight back home was perfection. There was hardly any turbulence. This time the flight was at 7 p.m. So I got a lot of food in me beforehand, and the things I brought on the plane on the way home now was an entire batch of breakfast sandwich tofu, crackers, a gluten-free Breton cracker, which are my favorite, apples for both of us. Now this is I was trying to make a meal for both of us because it was going to be supper time. Blackberries that we got locally in town. I literally went really overboard. I think we had some leftover soy curls, and I had just shoved those into the freeze-dried fruit I kept out because I was afraid of it getting crushed. I think that's it. I can't remember fully, but yeah, I had basically this is our full meals. And it was excellent. We ate the breakfast sandwich tofu, the soy curls, most of the crackers. That was perfect. And then maybe an hour or so later, I was I'm a little snacky. And so we both ate our apples, and it was literally perfect. So I'm I'm going to plan it like that next time. So it's a rounded meal of like carb, protein, and some type of fruit or veggie that I know I am never eating a red pepper. One last thing about the red peppers. I say I'm never eating them again. I might eat them cooked, or if I forget that they're in something like oats. I had just eaten a couple scoops of an oat-based ice cream the other night, not realizing that it was oat-based, and I'm fine. So, oats are a here or there type of situation. I definitely wouldn't eat like a lot of oat-based ice cream. Like one bite is probably fine. No more than that. So that's good to know. I'll have to do some other tests later to see how much oats I can handle, because I might be able to just tolerate some. One other thing on the red peppers is I had never thought about this. Like I didn't think it was a thing. I don't even know okay, you know what? You know when like something doesn't taste right to you, you're like, oh, maybe I just got a bad piece, like, you know, a piece of potato that was like a little bit moldy or green or whatever, and you kind of taste that and you're like, gross. Yeah, so when I've cooked red peppers in the past and I've eaten them, sometimes I'd get the odd bite that was like, oh, that pepper tasted moldy. Now I told Clay this after all of this happened, and he was like, yeah, that's weird, I've never had that happen. And then I told my celiac friend, and she was like, really? And I'm like, oh, maybe this was my body trying to tell me you cannot have red peppers. I don't know if it's just a red pepper thing, honestly, or if it's an all pepper thing, but yeah, they'd be tasted moldy. Actually, I think it happened with yellow peppers too, or orange peppers, so I think it's an all pepper thing, but they be tasted moldy sometimes when they're cooked to me, and they're definitely not moldy when I cut them up. So maybe that was a warning, like how when I used to eat gluten, sometimes like the first day it was great, and the next day I'd eat the same fresh bread that I made yesterday and I would taste bad. Maybe it's a sign. Our bodies are trying to give us a sign, and maybe it tasting moldy was the sign that I missed. I cannot tolerate pea protein, I'm pretty sure. I had a couple incidences. That's where I almost fainted from. I ate like a lot of Beyond Meat, and the next day I was abruptly woken up, and yeah, it was bad news. So I think pea protein's a no-no for me. Thank God I can eat soy, because this would be a real tragedy for me if I couldn't. That was my lesson. I hope you guys can learn from it. If you have had a similar experience, please comment. Please let me know, because I was so lost. I was like, I knew it was the peppers after I went to the bathroom, because it couldn't have been anything else. But next time I see my doctor, I'm going to tell him, and I'm going to really double down, because it is very unfair to just say that because I eat a whole food plant-based diet should not mean that I'm more sensitive to certain vegetables, in my opinion. So that is my story. I hope this never happens to you, because it was the worst experience. It was horrible. And if that had happened in any other time, traveling, like, and I was meeting a friend or going to another country, it would have been worse. So I'm truly happy it happened then, when my parents were picking me up and I had someone right by my side supporting me the entire time, because it would have been so much worse if I was alone, or if I had to get into a cab or something. That would have been nearly impossible. And I think it just really goes to show that autoimmune or silent illnesses really affect a person, and it has to be really, really bad for other people to notice before you actually, like, Clay's like, I don't think anyone really noticed until, like, the flight attendants at the very end. Like, the guy that was sitting next to us, I was literally laying, like, halfway on the seat, like, I thought I would be pale and looking like so ill, and he was like, oh yeah, it's hard to rest. And I'm like, do I not look like I'm about to throw up and pass away? Like, what? Can you not see what's going on with me? So I don't know, it's really interesting, but you know, it takes a strong person to deal with this kind of stuff. So kudos to y'all if you have been through this kind of thing as well, because it is hard, but we will survive. We got this. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!